Hi, I'm Nick Hurst. I've got a slightly unusual background for an author. In between a life in advertising, I've trained with Kung Fu masters. I've met tried gangsters. I've even had a huge tattoo hand poked into my back. Essentially, I've just got myself into trouble and ended up writing about it. My latest book is a thriller. It's full of intrigue, murder and adventure. It started off with a plan to write a travelogue living and training with sumo wrestlers in Japan. It developed from there when I had a small role in a Bollywood film opposite India's leading lady, Priyanka Chopra. It's a slightly unorthodox foundation for a book, but I hope that's what makes it a little bit more interesting and slightly different to the usual. The story itself is centred on an Englishman called Ray. He goes to Japan hoping to start his life afresh. Things start well, he gets a great job, he finds a beautiful girlfriend, Tomoe, who frankly is above his league, but then everything gets turned upside down when her father's found dead. She's adamant it was a murder and sets out after his killers. So Ray's not convinced, and in any case he's not sure he wants to be involved in the hunt for a murderer. Then Tomoe goes missing and Ray's forced to act. He finds himself drawn into a floating world, a place of yakuza gangsters, of corrupt politicians, sumo wrestlers, cool girls. It's a place that is particularly disturbing to him because it seems to reflect his dreams of Tokyo's feudal past. Soon he finds he's not only chasing after Tomoe, but he's fighting for his own life. I always liked reading illustrated books when I was a kid, books by Kipling, Dickens, people like that. And I've always thought it a shame that at some point in the 20th century it was decided that images no longer fitted with fiction. I thought I had the chance to change this. In my book, the Japanese floating world echoes through the plot. The woodblock prints that people know from artists like Hokusai and the like were originally created to illustrate the Japanese floating world. Because of this relationship to my plot, I thought that if I chose particular images, they could work even though it's a modern story. I always had an interest in the woodblock prints. Then when I was writing the book, because one of the characters is forced to get a Japanese tattoo, the ones that are more associated with gangsters over there, I started looking into the relationship between them and found out that the designs are one and the same. This led me to get a little bit overexcited, and before I knew it, I had a full back tattoo that had been hand poked into me. I think it's fair to say that I've literally put blood, sweat and tears into the creation of this project. I hope you'll find something interesting in it and you'll want to make a small pledge.